Hi, I'm Michael Chiarello, and welcome to my kitchen. Normally at home during the holidays when I'm making turkey gravy, I'll take either a homemade chicken stock or some Progresso natural broth, and I'll add the turkey giblets to it, and I'll cook it off to the side, and it will take a couple of hours just to get a little bit of turkey flavor. Well, I've discovered with Progresso natural broth a super new recipe. We're gonna roast the turkey right onto some chicken broth, right in the bottom of the roasting pan. So all the turkey drippings are not drying up to a little crust. They're actually dripping directly into the broth, fortifying that broth. We add a little more, and it's gonna make the best gravy that you ever had. So we're gonna drain all of the beautiful turkey broth out of the bottom. Look at that. That's what I was talking about. Beautiful turkey flavor. Unbelievable. Wow. All right, so what we're gonna do here, here's the trick. We're gonna take some Progresso chicken broth. We're gonna top this up. We're gonna add until we get to 4 cups. We're gonna leave a little bit extra in the carton. That way if we need to thin it out a little bit later, we're gonna have some. And we're gonna make a roux. A roux is simply butter and flour mixed together in a pan. So we're gonna take a stick of butter and melt it down with some all-purpose flour. I tend to start with a little less butter than I think I need, because I can always add a little bit more, but you can never take it out of the pan. So that's gonna warm up. And one of the tricks to making a perfect gravy is actually cooking the starch out in the butter and flour mixture first. It's where most people go wrong. This really is a raw starch. So you melt the butter. And that's just about right. That was a half a cup of butter and 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. And once that gets hot, you're gonna wanna just turn the pan down. You wanna give it about 7 or 8 minutes. Now, as that's cooking, we're gonna take our 4 cups of broth into a hot pan. I'm always trying to save some time. By the time my broth comes up to a boil, my roux will have cooked long enough, and then I'm gonna add my hot stock to my roux. One of the most important things you have to remember about cooking with flour or any starch is until it gets about past 180 degrees, it's not gonna thicken. So how many times have you not quite brought your gravy up to a simmer yet, and it's not thick enough, and then you add more flour, and then before you know it, it comes up to a boil and turns into a pot of glue? That's what you're doing wrong. So we're gonna cook this roux out. Now, the roux is gonna be very hot, so you wanna be careful. My stock's hot on this side. Now I'm not gonna put all of the stock into this roux. I'm gonna want it to thicken a little bit at a time, right? So I'm gonna add some of that, very hot. I'm gonna stir it in, and I'm gonna let it get a little bit smooth. And I'm gonna add this little by little. And you can see that it's getting thick right off the bat. That's exactly what I wanna have happen. Lumpy gravy is the death of all of us. If I make a mistake and I add too much broth, this is where one of those fancy little holiday gifts that you got last year is gonna come in handy. The immersion blender goes right into the pan. Perfect. Now if you want to season this, you could do all kinds of things. You could drop a cinnamon stick, you could put some roasted garlic in there, but I like them just as they are with salt and pepper. Oh. I'm so excited for you guys to try this at home. Every once in a while you come up with a neat technique that kind of simplifies and makes extraordinary an ordinary thing like gravy. So once it comes up to a simmer like it has, we're gonna turn it down real low. We're gonna give it about 10 minutes, and then it's ready to go. Right there into the sauce boat, Progresso natural chicken broth, making the base to our gravy even more delicious. Wait till you taste this. For more of my tips and recipes, go to progressobroth.com.